This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so here, like we are still here, okay, just fixed assets. But here afterwards, I'm going to make it timing hour here. That means I complete the topic within that specified time. Like for example, banking 1 hour, cash journal 1 hour, electronic bank reconciliation. It is just 1 hour or some time, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, taxation, like this. Everything I'm going to make it within time. So if I follow this time, so for all the topics which I want to complete, so what is the left? So initially we go like here and there because I don't want to make pressure and also even not pushing everything. 37.5 hours is required. So let me take buffering 5 hours extra, 40 hours maximum. That I can go it faster and we'll go like 3 hours if you take like a day, like three days in a week, it's 9 hours. Okay, it's hardly take 3 weeks complete, 3 to 4 weeks. Getting my point? So you have to be very quick. Now you are getting like obviously now you are not holding because of like screens and other things and all. You can easily catch up the things because that's the way you can easily like if you practice more. And also now I'm telling for fixed assets you create a separate company and also like for banking also you have to create separate company for banking setup for cash journal setup separate company code. You have to show those. For everything you are going to do the same thing. For example, if it comes to taxation, you have to show the separate company for only taxation so that you'll understand the connectivity. For example, if I come to the taxation, I want to show you, like I want to tell you, okay, I show you how the taxation works in SAP. I'm going to show you all the things. Okay, so when I show those things, all those things, if you create a new company code, yes, of course, you are going to do this organization. Your concentration is on taxation, but to do the taxation, you require accounts payable, receivables, and general ledger again. You have to make one entry in that. Every company is by default you have to make one entry for all the process to check whether it's configured properly or not. Then we don't require in taxation we don't require fixed assets. We don't require banking and cash. You don't need to do this. Withholding tax, the same concept. This three is required. All this not required. Automatic payment program. We three these three is required. Okay, somewhere else we connect to this other also. I'm going to tell you wherever it is. Okay, you have to be in the same way. It may a little bit hard, but it's really good. Okay, I hope. How do you feel now? Like after practicing so many hours. So are you feeling better or something? It's getting benefited to you, like getting confidence. Yes, you have to be frank here. It's a recording session. You have to be frank. There is no like something. Okay, no. If it is something is not correct, okay, we let us correct it. So how do you feel, Arshita? Like, are you feeling? You don't need to be only positive. If you, something is negative is there, you have to tell. Just go ahead first. Quick.
Yes, sir, I'm feeling confidence and I'm
Like,
getting
means
SAP with the confidence.
my question is the way of doing here. Like I'm telling you to create a new company code to for each and every process. So is it useful to you?
Yes, sir, it is helping me a lot. By that, I
Okay.
can, if I do so many times, I can remember.
Okay. So what about Deepa?
It's very helpful. So we can easily
Okay.
understand the link and everything, how it will be linked between one account to another account, and like if you do the AP and again it will go to the AR. So we'll get to know the how the flow will go and everything.
Okay.
If it is one entry also, it will be good to practice from first, because if other things what will happen will not go back to the other things, only will go banking and journal entry, that and all. So we might
Hmm.
get forgot the previous things and all.
Yes. It is. It's going to have like that. Sport is the problem is like we keep going further. When we come here, we forget this. Actually, that's what happens. That's initially. Okay, so that's good. And Nagalakshmi, do you have anything?
Yeah, first when I learn SAP for first time, I feel very difficult. But when I practice more, like creating a separate company code for each concept, It makes
Hmm.
it easy to understand and learn many things.
Okay,
And I love
nice.
the connectivity also, sir. Like as you said in the previous class,
What? What? Sorry.
the connectivity
Hmm.
for the
Yes,
concepts.
that's also is important. Okay, that's nice. We'll go ahead now. And so yesterday we stopped here, and we made a sale of asset without customer, and next we'll see the scrapping of asset. What is scrapping of asset means? See, what is the difference between sale and what is the difference scrapping means? Sale means we are going to get some revenue from out of it. You get at least some amount you get, and you make the differences. Okay, for example, the asset which is valued at 190 rupees, we sold it 125. So we got 125 rupees this one. If the asset got collapsed, that means scrapped. Scrap means it's no revenue. That means no revenue generation. That is the meaning of scrapping of asset. You don't get any revenue at all. Entirely whatever the amount is there, it's loss. So now we can maintain a separate account for scrapping of asset, or else we can maintain loss on sale. It's not a loss on sale of asset. It's a scrapping means entirely loss we are booking of entire amount whatever the asset consists. Say for example, you have a building, it's collapsed due to earthquake. Then obviously you have no option, no revenue at all you get. So that's what we call it as scrapping of asset. So here what we are going to do, first we will let us create a GL account for scrapping of asset. Yes, I go to FS00. Here under administration other expenses we have loss on sale of asset. I can continue with this. I copy this and I create a next GL. Just copy and so ultimately everything is same. You have to say loss on scrapping of asset. It's not a loss actually. I cannot say the loss. It's scrapping of asset, and save it. So what we are going to do, scrapping means what? So ultimately, anything we are doing, scrapping is different activity, sale of asset is different activity. We have to assign this GL account. If I do the scrapping of asset, so then which GL it need to be debited. So here I go to ORFA again, ORFA. Under this integration, assign GL account, enter your chart of depreciation, select chart of account and account determination, and go to position, that is my account determination Y100 balance sheet account. Here we have made that if I get the gain from asset this one, loss of asset this one, and if I do the loss made on asset retirement without revenue, that is nothing but scrapping. Without revenue means no revenue we get. So if I get this one, I want this GL to be updated. If I do that, just enter. So system, whenever you do the scrapping, system will come and check the GL account here. Yes, then save it. So once it is done, so let us do the scrapping. We already have some assets which we already created. So what are the assets we have? What is the T code to see the assets report? Asset balances. What's the T code to see asset balances?
AA0103.
Ah, asset balances.
AA
AR01, sir.
AR01. Yes, AR01. So here I'll check the report for July and execute. We have now 4 assets left, 5 assets left. One we already sold. That's the zero value. Acquisition and everything is zero. That means it's out of the balance sheet. We have something other. So let me take up the second one. I scrap this asset. I scrap this asset. Okay. So for scrapping of asset, we should go to ABAVN. ABAON is sale of asset without customer. ABAVN for scrapping of asset, we call it. ABAVN. ABAVN. So, see, if you enter /n, it will open that screen. If you enter /o, if you enter /o and ABAON, whatever the T code you want to enter, it will open new screen with that screen. It will keep this screen, whichever is already there. See, this screen is there, but it will open a new screen. Here I'm going to 70001, this one. Here the difference between ABAON and ABAVN, the screen is exactly the same. The only difference what you see between these two is ABAON. ABAON is for sale of asset without customer. So the difference here we had revenue column, but here we don't have that. That means we don't get any revenue. 100% book scrapping we are doing. This is the building 2. So the date again and asset value date. Asset value date when I am doing this scrapping. So it should be 30th of 6th, the last day of the month, and period end I'm taking. And just here you don't get any other option. Just enter, go to extras and simulate. So that system 100% it will book to the loss. So 240 rupees was the value which we got, and we have done the depreciation recovered is 2 rupees. And now 230 rupees, 38 rupees entirely is going to 53001, that is scrapping of asset. It's booking loss entirely. And save it. Done. That's it. This is about scrapping of asset. Next is sale of asset without customer, with customer. What is the difference between sale of with customer and without customer? What's the difference? Yes. Yes, please. What's the difference between sale without customer with customer? Sale of asset without customer with customer. Anybody?
Sir, sir,
Hmm.
in my with customer in the sense we are selling to a customer and for that we gain some revenue or loss.
Hmm. What is without customer? Yesterday we have done. Yes. It's a common question. What we have done in like accounts receivables. What I have explained. Shita, Deepa. See, I buy something from you. I have two types of accounting. One is I can identify you as a customer, or else I can just directly post to this. This is what is required in accounting. The main what I was trying to push you lot. So the difference between GL entry and accounts receivables and payable. Remember what I tried?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, that means we are mentioning the customer means we are taking the goods from on credit basis like that.
Yes.
If we are paying full money means we don't mention his name in our account of books.
Yes.
There
Exactly.
is no need to maintain his account.
Yes. Exactly. That's what is required. That's clarity should come to your mind. See, sales credit to cash or bank cash. Let me take cash credit, cash debit. What does it mean? I'm selling something. I'm not identifying. I'm not selling the goods on credit basis. Okay. If I do the sales credit and customer debit, then customer credit, then then cash credit. The difference. What is the difference here? Deepa, you tell me what's the difference?
Here customers are involved. Second entry, first customers are not involved.
Yes.
Directly we're selling.
That means I'm selling something to you. I'm getting the money immediately. And that means ultimately what happens, you know, right? This customer account, we call it as a, why we call it as a subledger means there are supporting ledgers to identify the transaction. Sometimes what happens, see, you like ultimately all business do this activity. Just understand this trick in accounting. So accounting is not so difficult if you understand there's some small tricks here. Like whenever this type of questions comes. Why do you require these questions? Because you have to understand the process. You're not trying to understand SAP only. What does it mean here? The sales and credit, ultimately, every business wants to prepare their P&L account and balance sheet. That is what their ultimate goal. Sometimes what happens, if just assume that a company which is only doing cash and carry. I must take a best example is milk agencies. Just assume that you have a milk agency. You cannot keep that stock for more than a day. That means you have to buy it and you have to sell it. It's a trading business. What does it mean? You sell and buy in a different way. Like you may buy it for 10 rupees and you may sell it for 12 rupees. That's a 2 rupees is the difference. So that you identify in like a P&L account. And if it's only cash and carry, just assume that it's only cash and carry. What is the balance sheet or something? This I explained already. One class I have taken for this one. But ultimately, what I want from your side, your understanding. See, ultimately, every company do the same thing. So, what is the difference for this and this? The same is same. There is no difference here. See, sometimes some customer immediately pay, that is cash and carry. Then I don't want to identify as customer. And if some customers pay it later, okay, they take the product today and they pay it tomorrow. So till tomorrow, I cannot keep that. Okay, oh that customer. How much I can remember if I have 10,000 customers or if I have 2,000 customers, I'm doing a lot of transactions. I cannot remember. So I'll just push it to this customer account. Or this customer has taken. He is a liable. You have to get the connectivity between this. If I do this, what will happen if I do this? That's nothing but a credit sales. We do the credit sales. Whenever you do credit sales, just take this example of balance sheet. I'm repeatedly telling these activities because this is important than SAP. If you know this, SAP is not difficult. SAP is not difficult actually. SAP is just a book. It does the activities whatever we require. So just an example, I'm giving the example for this say cash account and this one. Simple example say. So if you have a cash 1,000 rupees and you sold something Just assume that you sold something. You sold something. If he directly gives the cash, that means you bought something for 800 rupees. Just assume that you bought something for 800 rupees and you sold it for 1200 rupees immediately to the customer. So your cash automatically increases 1200 rupees. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You had
Yes.
2000 rupees and you bought it to 800 rupees go, then you sold it for immediately you sold it. Just transfer. Then he transferred 1200. Whatever you invested 1000 rupees, it's sold it for 800 rupees. You sold it for 1000 rupees, so you got in 200 rupees extra in cash. So that cash is nothing but profit. So to identify this profit, we maintain separate account, P&L account. Okay. So if that customer says, okay, no, you in this case, what happens? You transfer that 800 rupees you spent. Okay. Customer has to give 1000 rupees. But he has not given 800 rupees means, so just a second. If it's a cash and carry like this, if it is in credit sales, what happens? Just a credit sales example. You have 1000 rupees. Okay. And you bought something for 800 and you sold it for the customer immediately. But that customer immediately has not given the cash. He said, okay, today I don't have cash. I will give it tomorrow or after 2 3 days. You cannot you cannot keep everything in mind, so that what you do, your cash is reduced to 200 because 800 is spent, and here your customer has to give, that means customer means debtors, what we call in total. Debtors is showing 1000 rupees. Your 200 rupees is increased, but you got the profit. So the profit is 200 rupees with like is in the form of debtors. Once he gives the debtors, like once he gives the cash, okay, debtors account credit to cash account debit. That will transfer from here to here. Hope you're getting my point. So that means the sale of asset or sale of whatever it's like, it may be cash sales, it may be this one. Customer account, if it comes, it's a credit sales. If it's a credit purchase, vendor account will come. It doesn't mean that okay, it's not. It's a different type of accounting. It's just a way of like doing accounting according to the maintaining the accounting. You have to understand in this. Like when I ask that without customer with customer means this entry, whatever we are talking, okay, will just come here like this debtors account. Because here there is like, why did we introduce revenue account? Revenue account, we cannot say whether he's going to pay cash or online or something. We keep it in revenue, then we make the revenue account to bank or cash account, whatever the way he pays. That's what I said here. It's not ultimately, if the customer is giving, customer account will come here, debtors account, that customer account will come here. Once the customer here, you don't need to maintain that what type of phone, because customer account he may pay, then that is debtors account will come here. So that customer account will make a payment, then we'll credit him and bank account will credit him. I hope you're getting the clarity, all of you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody says yes, but when I ask questions, no answer. Hmm? Yes, how? You have to say yes means you should be able to answer questions. Okay? See, these are the things actually we have to learn in college. Actually, it is not that way here learning, but our college, you know, right? What they teach. So if you don't know the answer, okay, write this box and the columns and all, you'll get 2 marks. That is what they teach in college. We know that, right? You might have heard the same thing from your lectures. Like 15 marks question. Oh, you don't know how to answer? Okay, just write the columns and try leave. At least you'll get 2 marks. For the columns.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
right? This is the way
Yes,
that
sir.
we learn, but it does not work in real time. If you write column, they will send you out. Okay. Give the solutions. See, first of all, don't think accounting is difficult. Accounting is very simple. So now what we are doing the sale of asset with customer. That means with customer means we are just doing the credit sales. That means we are selling to a customer and he will give the money later. It's not a carry. Without customer means cash and carry. With customer means this one. So that means if you want to do the sale of customer, that means a asset which I want to. So I'm going to do the same thing. Like I have another asset for 360 rupees. That is 360 rupees which I bought. And already 6 rupees. It's not 6 rupees, 1.5 rupees. Depreciation is done. And I'm going to, if I sell it for, say, for example, if I sell it for 320 rupees, how much I got the loss? I'm going to get the loss of 38 rupees 50 paise. But here, instead of revenue clearing account, it will come the customer account. Customer is liable now. Once he make a payment, customer account will get cleared and cash will fill up. This end, cash or bank. Got it? So let us go to this part and how to do this sale of customer with sale of asset with customer. That is the transaction code is F-92. Sale of asset with customer. Okay, let us go here and finish up this. So I'll take up the asset. So if I refresh this, you can go here, there is no refresh and execute again. So this is also done. These two is going out, and next one I'm going to do the sale of asset 360 rupees. Actually 3 rupees is done, so that I'll get 33 rupees loss, 37 rupees loss. So what should I do? Go to F-32, sorry, F-92. It is exactly the screen like F-04, F-90, F-43 we have done, right? F-40 and F-90 the same way. But here you will just notice the difference is automatically the DR will be updated. DR means it's a customer invoice. Like FB70 we have done, right? FB70. The same. Here is the DR, here is DR, and everything same. Like the entry what we do here, we are going to do here for assets in this option. Now let us fill the data. So as soon as DR comes here, here you find the 01. 01 is like if you do the F-30, F-70, the posting case 01 is has come automatically. And if I pick up customer, and bill number, for like simple example, I'm taking 1000 rupees and I take sales GL here and 1000 rupees and simulate. What we are going to get here is when you simulate, you get this 01 posting key. Customer debit, it's 01. Most of the time system gives, don't worry, but just have an observation like 01 and 50 GL credit. So here, when I try to do this manually, DR has come, the DR is here. So 01 is updated here already. That means 01 means it's automatically will find you can, if you go inside you'll find the customer account. Customer account. I'm selling this customer of 320 rupees asset. Asset, which asset I'm selling? I'm selling the asset. Now asset is going to be credited. Asset debit is 70. Asset debit is 70. Asset credit is 75. That is code. So I'm repeatedly telling, don't worry about the remembering of these posting keys. You have a logic, you'll understand in future easily. Right now, just remember this codes, that is for posting key. 75. Asset, the type of account is asset. A, account type is A. Credit asset. So whenever you select 75 here, if you go inside, you will find only asset accounts there. So here I'm selling this building 3. I'm selling this building 3. And a transaction type should be always 100. Enter. But you don't get that. Enter. And the 340 rupees. And enter. And simulate. But what we are facing is 320. Sorry. 320. So debit and credit is done, and this is the way we can sell it, right? Am I correct? What I'm doing? Am I correct? Yes. Is it correct? Is the entry is correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Customer is debiting and asset is crediting. If you go here, if you only for asset accounting, you get this asset accounting simulation. When you're doing any asset related activities, you can notice this anywhere, not only here. If you enter this, you find this transaction. So what's happening here? So the data is getting that customer is to 200 and 320 rupees, and asset is that. So is there any adjustment of depreciation or something you are seeing here? Actually, when we are selling scrapping and other things and all, it was the depreciation adjustment was here. So that's the reason SAP has other way here. We should not do like this. Many people do like this, it's wrong, because if you do this, what system you're doing, you are getting 320 rupees and it's just crediting to the this one asset. It is not take considering the values depreciation, the present value, net book value. It's not at all considered. It's just crediting that customer, crediting that asset. So that's the reason you should not do like this. What you should do, I tell you, there's something diverse. You get like little bit diversion is there. You select the customer and enter. You just enter the amount, but here you should not enter asset. We are debiting customer and crediting. We have to credit revenue clearing GL account here. You have to enter 50 here, and you should go inside the revenue clearing GL account which we have created. Enter the amount, but when you try to enter again, system automatically says fill out all the requirements. That means it's highlighting this part, asset retirement. Just click this and enter in keyboard. System will ask you which asset you are selling. Give me the, so we are mentioning the amount here 320, and you have to select which asset you are selling here. I'm selling building 3. Asset value date 30th December, sorry 30th, and I want complete retirement. complete retirement. That means 100% retirement I'm doing. Click OK. Now what happens? If you come now and simulate the entry, you find asset accounting here also now. Okay, you are seeing the same entry. You are not, but you are not getting the asset account here, revenue clearing account coming. But if you click on this asset accounting, you see the difference. What it's showing here. It is taking domestic creditors debit rate of 320. The asset value actually purchased 360, and the 1 rupee 50 paisa is the value of asset, that is depreciation is we have made till now, and the loss is 38 rupees 50 paise, and revenue clearing account is coming here. But here, why revenue clearing account? Last time when we discussed revenue clearing account, it was cash or like this one. Obviously, I mentioned one thing, the difference here. Like here, it customer account will come. That means customer will make a payment. But revenue clearing account is an account. It's an adjusted account. It will bring all the data. Now you see here, revenue clearing account is crediting here, and revenue clearing account debiting here internally. That means it's a zero now. If you just notice here, it's a zero account, plus and minus. Only we left with 360 rupees asset it, and depreciation is 1.5 rupees. Data we are getting 320, and loss on sale of asset is coming. Instead of cash, sorry, instead of bank account, revenue account which we created, it is getting the domestic data, and we are going to collect from the customer, and it's saving. See, what happens, I tell you, you can practice this, not a big deal. I can say, okay, if you do like this, you do like this. Do you know, when we show this entry to the customers, like clients, we are supposed to explain what I'm explaining right now to you. They ask you, what is this? If you don't know what is this, how do you explain to others? The client will ask you how this entries will. We have to give the logic. Whatever I'm telling, we have to, like, whatever I'm teaching you, like that only we have to tell everything to them. That too in meetings, that too in front of system, live system, we have to show. We should be very clear with this. You may not understand 100% at this moment, but if you practice multiple, and if you think how it is going to work from the accounting concept, then you'll understand. You have to go and dig again and again the difference, the connectivity of the P&L account and balance sheet with this GL accounts, whichever I said for an hour in one day. Then only you see that you don't need to practice faster. I don't want the faster practice, but that you must practice. I don't want to finish. Okay, I finish, but you should be able to understand the transactions. If you are not clear with it, 100%, I know that you are not clear with this, because even I know, because I was also a student. I was also a student. But you have to get the clarity of these entries. You have to be logically perfect. Logically means everything I tell you, all the entries are always between this P&L account and balance sheet. Always remember. You have to give the clear logic of this when you're explaining, when you're understanding this. Don't blindly just, okay, assign the GL account. Yes, okay. The entry has got posted. Yes, posted. If I say this, it will get posted. Not a big deal. But if you should be able to explain this, how it is done. Then you see the confidence. You just explain this entry to me with logically. You see the confidence. You have to come up with your answers. What is logic? So if I'm doing the sale without scrapping, with scrapping, these are the entries. Sorry, without customer, with customer, these are the entries will come. You have to give the logically. You have to make me as a client, and I don't know anything about SAP. You have to explain me these things. Got it? All of you? Are you clear? Take this assignment. You have to explain. Is it possible to you? Can you tell me what is the entries? Is it like entries? How it is connected? Yes, open up.
Yes, sir, we can explain.
Okay. Others?
Yes,
Hmm?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. When you are going to do this? Everybody. Hmm? Your silence is not answer. You cannot sit like this in front of client. They'll just escalate immediately. Sir, your consultants is not at all talking. What we have to do. Hmm? Then your lead will call. Hey, what happened? Okay. See, not so difficult. Just you why you want to explain means if you try to make me understand, then automatically you understand. Okay, that is the key of learning. Teaching teaches you a lot. This is the key of learning. Teaching teaches you a lot. Okay, you have to teach. That means you have to tell me what it is. So next class, I'm going to take one extra class for you people. Not it's a regular class. I saved it and its system got saved. Then one regular class, not a regular class, one extra class I will take. You have to explain me the topics. I may ask you the any topic. I may ask you, okay, explain me asset accounting, or else I may ask you explain me organization structure, explain me this accounts payable, receivables, whatever we have done till now. We are going to take one test on that. You should be able to explain. Okay, prepare for it. Correct. Okay. Deepa,
Okay,
Harshita,
sir.
Nagalakshmi. So can you do it?
This
Accounting.
conference will now be recorded.
Let us go to the last topic of asset accounting. There is one more. Is there transfer of asset? This is one more. So this one partial means what? So sometimes we may not sell everything. We may not scrap everything. We may do a partial. That means, say for example, here this I refresh and third also will go. So we have this 480 rupees. That okay? I just think of it. I want to just sell like some 240 rupees, 50% of the building I want to sell, or some percentage of building I want to sell, like this. So there are many chances that sometimes we may sell part of some assets, not everything. So that we call it as a partial sale of asset, partial scrapping, like that. So for partial, you don't require to, if you're selling, you want to go to the like with customer, without customer, the same concept. With customer, without customer, same concept. I show you that. So partial sale of asset or like ABAON, I go here. The same sale of asset to the customer, without customer. And here I'll go to ABAVN, scrapping of asset. For both, you see one option here, partial retirement for both. If you're selling this one, like 7373, that means scrapping or selling, you are going to, you have that option here. You have to fill up the data and on what date asset should be valued. So if you're selling some percentage or some portion, you click on this partial revenue. You have to enter the revenue. My revenue means I'm getting revenue of like like let me take 240 rupees only, exactly 240 rupees or 250 rupees. I'm selling 240 rupees value. So when I would click here partial amount posted, what does it mean here? So here the revenue is 250. I'm selling at 250 rupees. I'm getting the sale value of 250, but I'm selling the asset value 240 rupees. What way? This is amount posted means asset value how much I'm selling. The same concept applies here. If you're scrapping, how much scrapping you're doing? I'm 240, 250 like this, partial. So if it is a with customer, F-92, You enter the customer here, and 250 rupees I'm getting from customer, and here you come and do the 50, that is revenue, the revenue clearing account GL, and enter. And here you enter 250 rupees and get revenue. But asset retirement, here when you enter here, if you enter any asset here we have an option like asset validate. Complete retirement means 100%. If you have partial retirement means you should enter the two. I'm selling 240 rupees of that. That's the options. Complete means it's 100%, like this what we do. So you have to slowly understand this by doing 3-4 times practice. Okay. So I don't do this both, just I'm showing these options. I'm going to sell 240 rupees asset for the amount of 250 rupees. If you when you go here and simulate, system will take only 240. No data existed. Oh, this already we sold actually. We have not sold this building too. There are many assets are there. So 1 second, let me check out the 703 is there, right? Building 4. Building 4 is there actually. Okay. 703. Building 4 703. Here you can select this and you just make it 0, this sub asset, and now simulate. Okay, let me cross check something is wrong. Oh, sorry, here, I'm sorry. I wanted to select this. See, these two options are like, if you are selling asset which you bought it in this year, then you should select this current year acquisition. If you are selling asset which is bought in the last financial year, then you should select this one. That's what the option. Okay. Now, so current year I selected because I bought it in this year only. Now you see that what system will do. It is taking 240 rupees purchases. For 240 rupees, 2 rupees is the depreciation, because 4 rupees is the depreciation for at the June end. And revenue clearing account is 50 rupees. The revenue clearing is getting 2 because it's in, what is this? It's in like cash and carry. And sale, gain from sale of asset, 12 rupees we are getting. 240 rupees assets we are selling, 250 rupees we are getting, 12 rupees profit. And you can say save this. Done. Just come here and check the report. So this report I'll make it 6 actually. You get confused with that. Now you see this, what's happening here? 240 rupees assets is been sold for 238 rupees. Sorry, sold for 250 rupees. So only left is 238 rupees is left. That means 240 rupees still exist. Are you getting my point? Partial asset. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now the final one is just execute this. And why I'm getting this 0? If you double click on this, it will go to AW01N. That's why it has Asset Explorer. It has value, but it's not showing here. Why it is not showing here?
That is 4.1, no, sir. We have purchased additional.
That's like here I have not mentioned any restrictions here. I want asset and sub-asset both should be there, and system should show all the values. It is showing 0 here. We are not retired it because if you double click on this, it go to AW01N, the Asset Explorer. Here you can see the posted values and other things. It's not retired. 120 rupees still there. We have
But
purchased it.
July,
Hmm? Sorry.
it was we purchased in July, month of July.
Yes. That's great. Thank you. I forgot that. Yeah, when I take this 7, then I get that. Yeah, now I'm getting. That's good. So I forgot that July. Yeah. Now when I see the report for 31, it's showing here. So this is partial, and finally the last step is asset transfer. Asset transfer means what? See, some values of asset you want to transfer it to other asset. Like something you have building 4 and in building 4.1 also. So sometimes you may have to, like I'm just taking this example because that's exist now. You can take example like building 3, it's clubbed with building 2, some value, some part of the building, or else full value. Say for example, building 4 is considered like added to the building, this one like last building 5 4.1. I want to transfer this value of entirely or partially, whatever is option, it's optional. I can transfer this to this one. 240 rupees, I'm going to add it to one single asset. What should I do? See, here I'm taking this partial like subasset only, but generally what we do from 70 to 700 to 70001 we can transfer like this. But here as two assets are exist, I'm going to transfer. So let me take from 4.1, I will add it to 4. 120 rupees, I'll add it to this one. A single asset I'll make it instead of making subasset. How can I do that? The transaction code is ABUMN. ABUMN. Transfer of asset. ABUMN. Here you should select which asset you want to transfer. I want to transfer 4.1 to, to the asset 4.0, existing asset. I'll select, I'll make it 0 here. So the document date today and asset value date as on 30th, last 30th June. Now I'm asking the system the values whatever is there in the 7000 subasset 1, transfer the entire value to 7000 subasset 0, that is main asset. I can make it as a partial also. I can partial like transfer only 100 rupees, 50 rupees also. Just simulate this, then you see this. Oh, at least it should be, because we purchased it in July, at least it should be end of the July month. We cannot transfer the asset which is purchased in July. We cannot transfer this in June. I'm taking this as July as asset value date. Simulate. Session. I think it should be at least 1 month earlier. There's some restriction. Yes. Wait, something is missing here. Posting date is 7. Yes, the posting date which I used, right? So how can I post a transaction which is purchased in date of posting date like next month, and I cannot use the today's month, right? Like June month, right? So you have to be a little bit careful about the dates also. SAP makes all the validation. So that means I purchased this asset like 70031 in the month of July. So I'm using the July month document date and posting date, and the asset value should be valued. The value of asset as on 31st/7/2024 it should be posted, and you can simulate this, and you see now what's happening. The 120 rupees whatever we had, in 7000301 are transferring to 70003. That means sum it's going to be added to this and save this. Once it is done, if you see that report again, see this value becomes 0. Now this is become 360. The 120 is added to that one, asset transfer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here one more thing, asset at the time of this one legacy, asset transfer within branches and departments. This I'm going to show you. This and all it's required controlling model. I'm going to show you later stage. So this completes asset, or as per our plan, asset is completed.
Sir, AUC asset you said yesterday.
That AUC will be shown at this moment. Are we required internal or like a controlling model to show the AUC? We need to activate controlling model. Controlling model we are going to see only after this all this completed, like taxation and other things and financial reports we are going to see. Then we are going to activate controlling model. After controlling model, when we are talking about internal order, then I show you the AUC also. It's required. So that now if I want to show you AUC, I must go to controlling model to activate. Then I should explain everything about controlling. So then you don't get the logic. That we see that AUC we are going to see at the internal order, and this asset transfer within the branches and department I will show you at the end. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So we'll wind up this right now.